On this episode of Roach Koach,
we're talking about Hallucinating by the band Apartment 26. It's Ben Rice.
I'm livid. That's where you end your chorus?
Roach Koach.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Roach Koach Podcast, the journey to create the Nu-Metal Canon. My name is Lorin Kozlowski. With me, as always, the original Roach Rider, Mr. Matt Nas.
Keep it rolling, baby.
There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we're for another episode of Roach Koach, creating this Nu-Metal Canon one album at a time. This week, we're talking about some boys from across the pond.
Ooh.
That's right. That's right, Matt.
Grab
That's
your
right.
tea. Grab your crumpets.
Grab your crumpets. Grab your copy of this charming man. That's right. We're talking about Hallucinating by the band Apartment 26. And there was only one man we could get to talk about this album. You may know him from the boards, the Roach Koach boards over on Facebook.
Hopping on those boards.
You may know him on the Instagram. You may know him from his podcast, Barley and Me. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Ben Rice.
You did it. You had me as a guest. Thank you so much. Happy to be here.
Ben, you have been a long time Roach Rider. Some might say you're a Roach Rider for life. And for the people that don't know, tell them a little bit about you and the Barley and Me podcast.
How to describe it? It's a beer podcast for people who aren't beer podcast people. It's conversations with your favorite brewers and people who enjoy the beer that they make. And oftentimes we won't even bring up that beer exists in the world outside the first 10 minutes. We just kind of go where it goes. It's a conversational thing. And it's a lot of fun. I get guests that, comedians, musicians, writers. We just drink beer and shoot the shit for what used to be an hour and a half. And now I'm like, let's keep it to 35 minutes. But yeah, it goes places. It's pretty fun.
Excellent. That's great. Ben, your Nu-Metal knowledge, you famously mailed us the packages, a box of many albums, annotated, which I still have it all. I actually bought an extra shelf to put them all on it. I believe since you sent them to us, we've done one album from it. None.
One album from it.
One album.
One or none. This might be the first. No, it's fine. It was like, maybe this is going to be one. No. All right. Well,
Still hope.
But I want to, I know you've been very kind in not pointing this out, but it was sent to you in a box that was much too large. It was during COVID times, so I couldn't find a box that made sense for what was going in there. So you also got old shirts.
It was a lot. It was a lot in there. Yeah.
Just what do I not need that can make sure these don't break too much in shipping? And I'm like, I'm so sorry. This is what you're getting.
You're getting a shirt I would use as a rag. So
Yeah.
don't worry about it.
I went to 3 different places trying to find a box that would make sense. Nobody has the box I need. I can buy the biggest box or the smallest big box I can.
I mean, I understand completely finding the right, but this is why I'm not into eBay shipping. And people have always been like, "Oh man, you have all these things that you could totally clear out of here. I've got a lot of old comics I could probably clear." And just when I get into that world, I'm just like, life's short, and I'm box hunting. I'm looking for figuring out shipping costs. I'm like, I'd rather just go to bed. So yeah, I understand 100%, and I get it. Trust me, I still have all of them. I still have the annotated sheet. Matt and I
did it immediately, and I missed a letter, and that tracks.
But I can tell you is that we definitely appreciate it, and listen, the long list only got incredibly longer once we got it, and it's really just a situation of just us at this point finding a guest, and then we have an album, we send them lists of albums and stuff, and then if they pick it, they pick it, or we're following the winds of the market, so it's like, hey, Nu-Metal's back, right? And then you've also got Stained, have a new album out, so it's like, well, then we got to do this other Stained record, and it goes through. But trust me, I've been looking at the cover of the Blank Theory album for a month now because I shifted it up to the top of the pile, so maybe we're gonna get to that one.
I don't know. I do think about that one a lot because you guys did listen to a track after I said it. You're like, this one's a ripper. I'm like, all right. maybe they'll do it. And then, no, that's the one. And no, so let me just tell my Blank Theory story real quick. I got offered a press release to go see them live, and they're very short. They're twin brothers, and they look like they're big in all the like promo release, and they're like 5'2", maybe.
That's short.
And they were
We love our short kings.
We're
but
love
we're
a
like,
short
we have this
king.
joke of playing all these guys around on the tour. We filled up a box of balloons. I'm like, it's not newsworthy pranking. Thank you. I will tell no one. But I've
Well,
known
now
that one for 20 years.
The short kings from that band certainly knew how to really get a zinger in with a box of balloons.
That's a guy.
All right.
That's the ultimate got him.
Incredible, got him. These guys are the new Clooney and Pitt. All right, with these pranks. All right.
Well, what
Forget about-
is this very light box that I let me just
It's totally empty. Oh, it's balloons. Like,
listen, balloon pranks, always great. You know what? Why they're great is that everyone gets surprised. So that's like a great part of the prank. And then they have a bunch of balloons, and balloons are always bringing you joy. So you're like,
party.
"Hey, they're a party. Exactly. You know? And what's really good is if you do a balloon prank on someone and they don't have time to clean it up, and then someone is, say, walking by their office or classroom or something that's now full of balloons, and everyone's like just sticks their heads and goes, "Oh, happy birthday." And they're like, "It's not my birthday." And then that makes the gag great all day. So
yeah.
just something to think about for the future.
I really
Like-
love a prank as a long play. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
you're right. There's probably a guy, another band on the tour that didn't like birthdays. Maybe he's a Jehovah's Witness and do this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Drive me nuts. Maybe it
Oh,
actually worked in that way.
Yeah.
and they're just sitting there. The brothers are just scheming. They're just like, every day we're gonna blow up some balloons.
That
We're
just
gonna
like
do
they're
this
like,
in the restaurant. We're gonna do it in the restaurant, and they'll have to bring him free cake. And he fucking hates cake.
it's cake.
They're gonna sing up the song, and then every day we're doing this on this tour. It's gonna
He's
be
like, I'm a professional singer. I don't need you singing songs to me.
right. He's
Right.
He can sing.
Right. He's like, I don't need you to sing. I'm the one who sings. If I got to tell you, Ben, though, if this Blank Theory album isn't as funny as this conversation, I'm gonna be really disappointed.
I'm gonna be so pissed.
I'm gonna fuck him. But let's talk about the album of the week, you guys. It's Hallucinating by Apartment 26. And Ben, I'm gonna go to you because this is a rare L for the old Wikipedia. For release date, all it says is May 2000. Do we have anything more specific than that?
I
we have
wish
a
you would have asked me
date?
that. I didn't even bother. I thought you would do all that research.
I did. I went to
May
Wikipedia.
2000, according to AllMusic.
Ooh, there. See, there it is. May 16th, 2000. Ben, where were you on May 16th, 2000?
May 16th, 2000. That would be around the time that that would be junior year of high school. So I would be getting out of my junior year of high school, which means I was probably on a basketball court.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, okay. Matt, May
Shooting
2000.
the
what-
shit. Oh, in May of 2000, this was my last. I would be finishing my second to last semester in college. So I was in Kalamazoo, at Western Michigan, wrapping up my degree, which I would finish that December. So I was getting ready for the last summer between college life and non-college life. And then Apartment 26 came out, and my life changed forever.
Because you were
There's
in
your
Apartment
life
26. So that
before?
recall.
That is correct. That's correct.
Yeah. It's your life before this album and your life after this album. That's how we all define it.
Yeah.
For me,
instead of BC in AD, it's just A26, B26, B26. Before 26 and after 26.
and it's really confusing for people because they're like, "Oh, is it like before you turn 26, after you turn 26?" You're like, "No.
No.
I'm talking about the band Apartment 26. Where are you going? Come back." For me, this was obviously very important because this was May of 2000. I am graduating high school. So that's
Look at
right.
you.
My whole vibe right then was like, yeah, baby, I run this town, I run this school, and now I'm heading out into the real world. Psych, no, I'm going to college, 4 more years of fun. So yeah, I remember the Mission Impossible 2 soundtrack that one of these songs was on. And I remember seeing this album cover at Best Buy where I worked all the time. I remember I'd just be walking by those end caps and I'd be like, oh, look at that, this lady.
Quick
And but
question.
yeah, Matt,
Quick question, Lauren. So this was your senior year of high school?
senior year.
So let me ask you a question. Did you,
Yeah.
I don't know, make a pact at the beginning of the year that maybe that was gonna be the year?
Matt, let me tell you, me and my buddies all made pacts. We said, hey, this is
I
our
knew
year.
it.
Okay.
I knew
This is
it.
our year. All right. Like, listen, okay, here's what so it's fall of 1999. Okay. All right.
Oh yeah.
And we're like, this is our year. Okay. So first day of school, we're like, okay, forget what we've been doing. Okay. Forget all that.
99.99. We're all getting Sega Dreamcasts.
We all need to really focus on what's important. And my buddy Justin was like, getting laid. And I was like, you got it, man. You got it. This guy gets it. We got it. This is what's important. And so I'm like, we got to make this pact. We got to do this. You know, we get laid. We got to cut our own dicks off. And everyone's like, this makes sense. This is what we have to do.
Wait, you get laid and you don't accept.
Well, that's the thing.
Lord.
No, that's the thing was we made the pact because listen, you're young, you're impulsive. You just start saying things. You don't think about the consequences. Then my buddy Gerard was like, hold on, I'm not cutting my dick off. And I was like, oh.
Gerard's got brain.
He thought it through. And I was like, okay, all right, we'll roll this back. So then it's like, okay, get laid, and then hopefully don't have to cut our dicks off. And then my buddy Ryan's like, hey, do you all want to come over to my house and watch Godfather 2? And we were like, yep. And then we fucking blew it.
Forgot all about this.
We forgot about the pact. We just kept watching movies. A month later, call went out. Everyone showed up at school and they're like, do you guys see the trailer for Ronin? And I'm like, the movie with De Niro popping out of the sunroof with the missile launcher? Yeah, I fucking saw it. And he's like, everybody in the van, we're going to see Ronin. Meanwhile, girls walking by, hey, and we're like, we're going to Ronin. Leave us alone.
And now it's
So
so much time between then. You have a son, so obviously somewhere in there you had sex. So you
and I
fulfilled
named
the
him after
deal.
the movie I watched instead of doing it.
Full circle.
Wow.
Full circle. At full circle. And I know
Incredible.
we're gonna get letters. Lauren, is this story true? Yes. So anyway, in the midst of all this, Matt, May of 2000.
Mhm.
Where's that in the Nu-Metal timeline?
Well, May of 2000, we would be in the thick of it.
That's right, Matt. We're in the thick of it. All right. So when I see this album cover, I also think of all of the albums that surrounded it on that end cap. Okay. I'm talking Significant Other. I'm talking
100%.
Slipknot by Slipknot.
Yep.
I'm talking Full Devil Jacket. I'm talking Korn Issues is going to be around it. I'm thinking Ben, what are some other hot ones that you would say you would have seen around this time?
Ah, boy. That seemed like pretty much it. It'd just be as a special edition to that Slipknot for sure.
Yeah. I feel like Mudvayne, LD50, Disturbed.
Oh, Disturbed would be on there. Sorry.
All of these bands, all of these bands are going to be around it. We're in the thick of it. But somehow this one never quite got me. And the thing is that, like I said, they had a song on the Mission Impossible 2 soundtrack. Another movie I went to see instead of talking to girls. I was like, I remember this part is fucking true. Walking down the hallway, seeing my buddy Justin going, Tom Cruise motorcycles on front. Eyes on the prize. Eyes on the prize.
A
Why
flood
is-
that every woman in the room was like, oh my God.
Why is my penis drier now?
Let me
Oh
tell you,
boy.
Matt. Let me tell you, if it's a good thing I didn't make that pact. Is what I'm trying to say. So, you have this album here, Apartment 26. This band is made up of some interesting boys, and we're just gonna jump right into it. On vocals, Terrence Biff Butler. And you might be saying, Butler? That name sounds familiar. That's right. It's the son of one Geezer Butler.
Ooh.
That's right. Is
Like,
this
who's
our...
Geezer Butler?
Now, if you're saying who's Geezer Butler, if you're saying that, fair
I
enough.
respect
Geezer-
you for your honesty.
Yeah, thank you for being so honest. So Geezer Butler
Was the
is
bassist.
from the band. Thank you, Matt. He was the bassist in Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
The main lyricist.
Wait, what?
Ooh.
He wrote the
And
Main
lyrics?
lyricist for Black Sabbath.
We all
Wait,
learned
so-
something today.
Wait a minute. So Ozzy wasn't writing this shit?
Nope.
Geezer was handing him notes?
Yup. That's why Ozzy still got to read up that board every show. Like, I didn't write this. I don't remember what the words are. They are not natural to me.
Yeah, Warpig's original lyrics were Geezer, please help me with these lyrics.
Lyrics. I don't know what. And he's
say
like, hold on.
now.
What Warp
He's
Pig
like-
is.
Why'd we
And it
call
was
this song Warp?
Pigs.
Jesus,
Please give me
"Fuck, here you
contract."
go. All right, here you go. Generals gathered. Oh, this is really good, Geezer.
Yeah. Yeah. Every day he's just like, Geezer, these lyrics are really good. And he's like, thank you. Thank you. And that's why Black Sabbath never broke up, because they got along so well. So you've got Terrence Biff Butler on vocals. From what I can tell from interviews and stuff I read, he exclusively went by Biff. He never went by Terrence.
Mhm.
On guitar, John Greasley. On bass, Lewis Cruden. On programming and keyboards, Andy A.C. Huckvale. And on drums, Kevin Temple.
Yes,
And
sir.
as we said, we have a physical copy here. I actually have two copies because Ben, you mailed me one. And also I had one that I bought years before that, like I said, I have albums that I'm just picking up that I forget that I have. That's the fun of the long list, is Matt will find an album get recommended. We'll hop on the long list and we'll find out that not only is it already on it, but I own a physical copy. It's incredible.
And we've listened to it on the show.
Yeah, that's also fun
Oh,
sometimes when that happens.
That was great.
Like, we have certainly heard this before. I'm looking at you, zebra head.
This album I did initially get from eBay. I got it from Glenn the bookseller for a sweet $2.89.
Thrift.
Yeah,
Great job.
that was an incredible thrift. Let's talk a little bit about these liner notes here. On the front cover, we have is this a variation on the famous painting of the woman crawling away from her house that I'm blanking on right now? So is it called like Sophie's Journey or something like that? But in this one, it's been like steampunked. So steampunked and nu-metaled up. So she's crawling away from a burning city that also looks slightly digitized. She looks pixelated. She's wearing steampunk goggles.
Raven black hair.
But most importantly, this lady ain't got no clothes on. She's naked. She's naked as the day she was born. And that lets you know, like, hey, we're dealing with some nu-metal wildness here. This is a start cover, but I would say is one of those things where I look at it and I'm thinking, like, there probably could have been a way to make this a little more, like, I remember it, but I didn't remember it enough to be like, I got to put this in my hot hands. I got to get this thing. I got to get this thing out of the plastic. Because as I've read, the album did not do great.
Correct.
Yeah. And the reviews also not great. The review on Wikipedia from a website called Canadian.com. That's how it's spelled. stated that the band fails to, quote, stand out from all the other bands that fall into this genre of music.
That's the last thing you want to hear about your band is that
That's
you
tough.
fail to stand out.
Yeah. But also it's written in such a way that it sounds like the guy who was assigned it was like, let me just punch in a clock,
Cut,
get this
cut to
review
the
done.
quick.
Yeah.
It sucks. Turns it in. Too short. We need a little bit more than that. This band.
Unimpressive. With impressive? No, unimpressive. Unimpressive.
Unimpressive.
Unimpressive review. Oh, unimpressive review.
That reviewer was also the voice of Mortal Kombat fatalities. He's like, I'm a one-word review guy. It's like, excellent. That's all you.
And so yeah, so
I
this
hate
one,
this cover, by the way.
oh Matt, it's not
is-
good.
It is so Uncanny Valley and disconcerting. And I've seen it so often at that Best Buy. Like that thing hung around, it seems, for years. Like who was the record label on this?
Hollywood Records.
Okay, Hollywood at that time. Classic for just, I got great Malenko bags. Let me just tell you, Hollywood Records would keep their stuff out there for way too long. And I hate this album.
I hate this record.
I have a visceral ick, and I hate saying it. I have a visceral, like, no thank you to this album.
Okay, we'll look
Get
forward to
comfortable.
looking at it for the next hour.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, it's just sewn into the fabric of my life at this point.
Right. I didn't notice this, even though I have been staring at this for a week, is that next to the Apartment 26 is, I think, their attempt at a symbol, which not great also. These dots and dashes.
Oh, yeah. Because it makes
That's
it
supposed
look,
to be
if that's supposed to be A26 cut up,
It looks like a 7.
it looks like a 7, 100%. And it just looks like L7. It looks like AL7.
Oh boy, that's bad.
Yeah, that's not good. But I mean, go listen to L7. They're great. Producer on this album, returning champion, honestly, it's Ulrich Wild.
We haven't had one of Ulrich's in a while.
We haven't had an Ulrich in a minute. And so for everyone who's like, okay, guys, you're talking about Ulrich Wild, like I'm supposed to know who he is, and you should. Here, I'm gonna
Ulrich,
hit you.
it's been a while.
So Ulrich Wild, some of the stuff that he has produced. He produced Powerman 5000. He produced Stabbing Westward. He produced Wisconsin Death Trip. Okay? Once you produce Wisconsin Death Trip, as we all know, you drink free for the rest of your life. Okay? You roll into a bar and you say, I'll take your finest ale. And they slide it across the bar to you and they tell you that's going to be $6. And you'll go, you ever heard the song Love Dump? And they'll go, yeah. Did you write it? No. Did you play on it? No. I was behind the boards. I made sure that shit sounded sweet. Oh, well, this ale's on the house.
No
and
charge.
Here's the
No
second
charge.
one. That's right. That's right. That's how it's done. That's how it's done. Ulrich also produced Taproot Gift, Scrape New Killer America, Breaking Benjamin Saturate. He did engineering on Results May Vary, because you've always got to put food on.
Just diminishing returns, Lauren. I think
I know. As I'm saying this, I'm like, hold on. Things are taking a turn.
No, don't worry.
That's
Ulrich Wild, also famous for producing all those Wiggles records that you
Okay, you know what? We'll bring it back around. He most recently produced Static X, Project Regeneration Volume 1, and Death Clock Death Album 4. The boy is back. Drinks at the house.
Once
All
again.
right. Once again. All right. People at home are not going to be able to appreciate these incredible.
baby, we're on video now, so
You're right.
yes, they are.
All right. When you go on YouTube, you're going to get to see Matt's, top tier. Well, here's the thing. People don't know until they see you live, Matt, that you are preeminent improv performer.
Oh yeah.
One of the
Real
best, and I
shit
know
set.
you're very modest about this, but I want to let everybody know that I was watching Matt Nas before I was a friend, and I was just an admirer, and I would watch this boy rock stages, and then afterwards be like, and I'm like, there it is. That's why he's number one, because he's not walking off that stage going, yeah, crushed another one, no biggie. No, he was like, I got notes for myself. And that's why he's always got notes for himself. That's why he's
Note
one of the
number
best. But
one: stop being a tryhard. That's always my number one note.
But Matt Nas, he's one of our great performers, and I don't know when this episode's going to go up, but Matt, we should just talk about it real quickly right now. You're bringing back the Matt Nas Variety Show to Go Comedy Improv Theater for a one night only event.
One night only event, November 10th of
November
2023.
10th. Okay, so actually, this episode will go up. It will go up like days before.
Perfect promo.
Yeah,
I might have to make sure that this video drops the same day.
Yeah. So,
Great.
Matt, what can people expect from this show?
Well, I can tell you this right now. On October 14th, we have not had our auditions yet, so I do not have a fully baked show. But what I can guarantee is a live band, a stand-up comic, a musical act, and I can blow this now. Friends of the program, Mitch Sosha and his good buddy Matt, who are doing a show in October. I have committed them to do something in the show as well. So, la la. So Jenny's husband will be there.
All right. So there it is. Sweet Mitchell in the flesh and the original Roach Rider. Go Comedy Improv Theater, November 17th. Get your ass over there. Okay.
17th. We mean 10th.
I mean the 10th.
I was just saying, hold on. After all.
You know what? We'll leave it
No
at
notes.
Lauren was doing it with no notes. That's what we mean by
that's easy, Matt. I walk up, no notes for me. I don't take any notes. All right. I nail it every time.
A real asshole. No notes.
No notes.
Oh, I got the day wrong. Did I?
Yeah, you sounds it.
No,
it sounds like
move your shows.
I'm doing 2 shows. Doing 2 shows.
Your show, Matt. Because I'm not wrong.
I'm not wrong.
Lorin, no notes Kozwowski.
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 There's another note I'm getting. Let's talk about genre tags, you guys. For Apartment 26, our genre tags are nu metal, industrial metal, industrial rock, and drum and bass.
Give it to me.
Oh, yeah. I picked this for Matt Nas.
Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, other reasons I picked it, but like this, I want to watch Matt's face on this.
You're going to get all of it.
Get all Matt's face on this one. There was not a ton on this album on the old interweb. There were no music videos, which was stunning to learn. You would have think they would have shelled out something like, give me a live performance, listen, it's 2000, the thick of it. You don't have 20 grand to put these boys in an empty warehouse? Huh?
You got this album art and it's on the end cap. It's going to move.
Oh, yeah.
You don't need any second sales pitch.
No, this Uncanny Valley picture of who I thought was a man this whole time until
which I think we didn't point out. We should have pointed out. Yeah, it's a woman, but you can be like, maybe not though.
That's where my head was.
But there's a hint of breast. And that should be enough for the horny fellas in 2000.
You know what? Maybe that was. Maybe we needed more than a hint. Maybe we need a little nudge between the shoulders, more than just a hint. But also it's all digitized. She's like it looks like she's lost. She looks like she's blind. This is not exactly screaming like, hello. That might be part of the problem. We should talk a little bit about the interior here. They really doubled down on the zeros and ones. Lots of those. Lots of this, just like the computers are taking over. And
this is pre-millennial dread. This is 100%. Guess what we've got? Well, I guess it came out in 2000. This is now post-millennial dread. We are, dare I say, cyber.
We are cyber. Ben, how do you feel about being cyber?
I feel like there's a lot in that.
Okay. Okay, fair enough. That's why I asked.
You don't feel comfortable
about it.
with cyber, but like this feels like hackers. This is like
we're the 1994 idea of what the internet will be, but it's by the way, it's still accurate. Man. The internet has grown so much that you forget that's still accurate.
It's true. It's 2000. I was still rocking an AOL dial-up.
Yeah.
Watching slowly loading QuickTime videos of the cast of American Pie, talk about how fun it was to make the movie. It was really fun, you guys. I don't know.
Putting another patch on Real Player.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. Oh yeah, man. Yeah, trying to play some like Doom game over like over your dial-up with like some skins you downloaded, and everyone's just the fun, the joy.
Waiting 5 to 10 minutes to hear a 30-second clip of an album you were considering buying on Amazon, which you could do.
That's right. I was sitting there. I'm just like, man, when this 30 seconds of Jamiroquai Canned Heat downloads, I'm gonna find out if this is for me. And I got it for Christmas, so there you go. I guess it was for me. But the great album, very good. So the there's pretty standard thank yous. I didn't see anything that was too wild in here. Biff is a big nickname guy, which makes sense since he's a nickname guy. So some of the nicknames he throws out, he calls AC, it's crap, can't hear the samples, Huckvale. Lewis is Lewis, you can copy and paste that Cruden. John Greasley is John, time for Fat Burger Greasley. And Kevin Temple is Kevin, all about the Dink Temple. So I don't know what that means. That one I'm gonna need.
We got to reach out to Mosher Mags on that.
Mosher Mags, Rachel.
Reference.
Yeah, what is it being all about the Dink? What does that mean? Let us know. Because Biff is not clear.
I mean, if it's dual income, no kids, I'm all about the Dink.
I'm not dual income, no kids. The way to live, baby.
God, my goodness, this dual income, no kids for so long. I love my daughter. It's actually better this way, but there was that sweet nectar of dual income, no kids.
Just the recklessness.
My God. Complete lack of saving money.
None.
Blowing it all on penny whistles.
Yeah, man. Oh, the dual income, no kids. I mean, you're talking about like you'd hear about a concert and you just send a text.
Go.
You just go. You wouldn't even have to look like what day of the week. Didn't matter. Didn't matter.
REO Speedwagon's playing in Chicago. Let's go.
Get a hotel. Let's splurge on a hotel.
Let's get a hotel.
Get
the
a
way you just said it.
Instead of figuring out which family member, which family member lives closest that you can stay with.
Biff was making fun of him for this? Whatever.
But also, those nicknames really speak to what you're about to hear, Matt. Like, we didn't put any effort into this record. But
you know what? Now that I know that Dad Geezer Butler was writing all the lyrics to Black Sabbath, iconic lines we remember forever, I'm going to say some of that may have not passed down to the next generation.
Right. Yeah. I thought that it would be important to point that out because I think it puts a whole new pall over this record.
It does.
Wait, look, so you're telling me, in his defense, who here wants to be like their dad? You want to separate from that. And talking about one of the great lyric writers, what you should do is write absolute dog shit.
I like how we're all thinking about like how we don't want to be like our dads. We don't want to be like our dads as far as like maybe in the way they raised us in certain ways. And then this guy's like, my dad was one of the best lyricists of all fucking time, and I'm gonna shit the bed on every track here.
So Geezer could have walked into the studio, heard some of these lyrics, and been like, I have a few ideas, and Biff was like, no notes.
I'm not like you, Dad. I'm not like you. I don't want to be like you.
I'll never be like you. Geezer, get out of my room, Butler. And someone goes, Geezer's already his nickname. I don't care.
I don't want your life.
Your life. Well, whatever the British version of that would.
Oh, you might get me out of the mood.
That's the show, everybody. Good night.
We got the Roach Koach Podcast.
We got the Roach Koach Podcast. We're on TikTok. Okay. This is a letter. It's very, and I want to just tell you, the font in this very small.
I remember that.
Not unreadable. They did this sideways bullshit, so you gotta roll it out like this. You can't read it like a
Is there a
book.
poster on the other side, Lauren? Does it make a poster? Does it make a poster?
You know what? Not really. I mean,
well,
what is
no,
this?
no, no.
What is this? What is this shit? What is
Poster,
this?
look, see how it flows?
Is that a
See how it
poster?
flows into each other? Look, it's
Okay. All right. Fair enough. It flows. I'll put it on my wall when we're done. Okay.
Thank you. That's all I wanted.
You're welcome. Okay. So this is the letter that is buried in here, along with like the legalese. Some musicians believe that the use of electronic and computerized tools and programs to create music is somehow unacceptable, and that music is only music when it is all live. Others believe that the classic performance oriented instruments are redundant and sampling and sequencing is the only way forward. Apartment 26 believes in the so much text on text here. In the unity of man and machine, and this album is brought to you with that in mind. So,
as if Kraftwerk did not exist.
Boy.
Listen, Biff, he's never heard of him. He's never heard of him. He doesn't know him. I don't know her. I don't know Kraftwerk. Literally Daft Punk walking around in robot helmets, and they're like, not familiar, don't know about it.
We're the first.
Actually, this does predate Homework by this does predate Discovery by Daft Punk. So I'm sure they were actually furious when they came out, and they were like, we should have been robots. Why aren't we robots? Dad, why wasn't I a robot? He's like, you're a boy. I wish I was a rabbit.
Yeah.
So,
well, I'm glad they really broke ground on the first band that wanted to be man machine.
They did.
Apartment 26.
They said, let's see. They are named after, apparently Apartment 26 is a Eraserhead reference. The movie Eraserhead by David Lynch.
Okay.
And I have seen Eraserhead, and I love David Lynch. I'm a big David Lynch head. I'm a Lynchy. Is that right? No, that's not. You don't want to say that. A Lynchy. That sounds bad.
You're Lynchian?
I'm definitely Lynchian. Absolutely. I bring with me a creeping dread everywhere I go. But I love David Lynch. But the thing with Eraserhead is it's one of his. I've only seen it once. I saw it a long time ago. And the only thing I remember about it, and this is a true fucking story, is that we watched it at my buddy Gerard's house, and who I believe I've talked about a little bit on this show. But Gerard is one of my best friends. He's one of the best people to ever live. And he, when we finished the movie, he turned to me and he said, "Yeah, that was better than Charlie's Angels." And then he got up and walked away. And I was like, "What is the comparison here?" But I didn't, you know what? I didn't probe further because that was too perfect of a moment. It was too perfect of a moment to say Eraserhead better than Charlie's Angels, the 2000 remake. And I probe no more. So
I always recommend if you like. Yeah. Those.
Yeah.
Right next to each other.
So yeah, exactly. Right next. So I guess also we should keep in mind that these guys are fans of David Lynch and that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should probably. What was that?
But will it come into play?
That's a good
Let's
question.
find out.
Let's find out. We're gonna kick this bad boy off. First song in the album. Ironic, the first song of the album is called "Backward."
Wow.
Matt
Get
nods.
those glow
Matt nods.
sticks ready.
Get them ready. Get your get your Ronnie size CDs out. Just get ready for some drum and bass action. Matt, I want to start with you.
Yeah,
How
buddy.
did you feel? How'd you feel about Backwards?
I really like 80% of that song.
Mm.
80% of
Yeah.
that song is my shit. Love it. Love, love, love it. This is old wax track stuff. This is like right in the pocket, really cool kind of synth pop meets that. It's not industrial, but like it has a metal-y edge, an aggressive edge. And then
What happens, Matt?
What
he
happens,
starts
Matt?
singing. He starts singing, and this is shitty because it's like this is the ingredient that doesn't work for me, and it's the vocalist. And when it's one person, it's I hate saying that, like, but the vocalist does not work for me. Biff does not work for me. His vocals need to be way more processed in this mix. He's singing what seems like clean, and with that much electronics going, we got way too much man in that machine. We needed more machine in that man. It is the thing about the Uncanny Valley is like there's something wrong. This isn't right. Like it needed to be. Yeah, no. I'm sorry. Like this song made me think of a band called Psychosonic, who had a song called "Welcome to My Mind," and like that is the same type of song here, where it's like really boopy and beepy. But when he comes in, his voice is like the compression on it. It's overly processed. But it's still very human sounding. They needed that. They needed to soften his vocal. They needed to like really put it in this pocket so that when it became aggressive, they could put more of an aggressive filter on it. Like when the guitars actually come in, it is not for me. Although 80% of this track is 100% for me. And I want to be playing a Wipeout XL on my PlayStation 1. Well, or PlayStation 2 at this point. My PlayStation
that's
2.
true. Yeah. For me, these vocals evoke a strong "We Have Burton C. Bell at Home" vibe. He's going for the Burton C. Bell, yeah, but he doesn't quite have it. He doesn't quite have it, and that's tough on its own. But then for me, because it was one of those things, like I was trying to put it in because I was like listening to this song and I was like, this song was the song that was also on the Mission Impossible 2 soundtrack, which I did own. And so I heard this song a lot in 2000. And so I was like, why did this song not hit me enough to go seek out more Apartment 26? And I think it's because this chorus doesn't quite work because the word backwards does not flow. And he tries to make it smooth and it just clunks up the flow of that chorus. Yeah. He's like, I just go backwards. And it's like, that's not the word. There are certain words that just flow and they are hooky and they get in your head. And every time I heard this, I was like, this needs to be fixed. This needs to be sent to the song doctor stat. Maybe he can do something. But also the song is called Backward. It's built around this entire hook. The whole thing with it. But also
the House of Cards,
song immediately lets you, it is House of Cards, but this also immediately brings you into the world of Biff the songwriter because you get a lot of this, and you're gonna get a lot of this throughout the album. Finished looking for answers. Now I'm looking for questions. He loves this shit. He loves the yin and yang. He loves the if not this, then that. You know, if it's not clean, it's dirty. If it's not black, it's white. Day? What about night? This is wheelhouse, okay? These are the things that he works in. And I know there are people saying, like, Lorin, these are classic cliches of music and literature. These ideas, the right and wrong, the ups and downs. Yes, but my friends, sometimes there is a little more nuance to it than that. And sometimes that's all we're getting.
Here's my thing with this lyric, okay? Everything's gone backwards. Nothing's what it seems. I awake from my nightmares, smash the mirrors, smash the dreams.
This will also
Now-
be a recurring theme, Matt.
Here's the lyrics. Everything's gone backwards. Nothing's what it seems. I awake from my nightmares. Smash the mirrors, smash the dreams. If we're going to go cliches, you can just say everything's gone crazy. Nothing's what it seems. I awake from my nightmares. It's all backwards to me. If you want backwards in there so bad.
Wow.
But I remember Biff had a solid no notes policy.
No notes.
Geezer walks in, is like, I rewrote that chorus for you. And he's like, no,
Not you, Dad. You're not getting a touch of this publishing. Get out of here.
And I think, Matt, you're giving him no credit for the artistic aspect of smashing mirrors, which is smashing your idea of yourself.
that's true.
Because everything has gone backwards. Nothing is as it seems. So you smash who you think you are and give up on your dreams, you see, because the world that you would are living in is not real, right?
Oh.
The reality that you think you see is not that. So whatever you think you're going to be, you're not going to be. So smash that too. Smash yourself, smash your dreams, all backwards. People to see. I don't know what your problem is.
Ben,
Thank you.
I want to
Thank you.
thank you so much for this. Thank you for this because you've given us a perfect segue into songmeanings.com.
It's like 3 notes.
There's not a ton of comments on air, but what you just described is perfectly how people on songmeanings.com sound. There we have a comment from Bellion. That's from May 20th, 2002. These are some shallow lyrics, but at least the song sounds decent. The guy can see the fakeness and fronts that people put up. They can't see through him because he's too complex for them. Even though they don't know the real him, sometimes he feels exposed and violated, ? And maybe he's wondering if he's starting to become like the people he hates, ?
His dad.
Fellion. Maybe. Here, this is a perfectly 2002 comment. In Tyler we trust. There's only one Tyler they're talking about, baby. And,
And he's about to blow up a bank.
that's right, baby. I like the mix of techno-ish beats and rock guitars and things. Goes well together. There's too many effects on his voice, though. I'd like it to be a little clearer. Good song, though. You think there's too many effects on his voice?
Oh, boy.
Then maybe they aren't the right one.
Maybe. Then Stitch Face came in real hot and said, it's shallow because Rich Boy Biff wrote the lyrics. Great band, but a different singer would help.
All right. Well, I may echo their sentiment, but I try not to be that harsh.
So that was on April 26th, 2003. On July 24th, 2007,
Biff show.
Sam Walton said, because you're better in the lead.
That's the best free name.
Sam Walton. Sam Walton. Not Sam Walton 69. Not Sam _Walton. Sam Walton. He got it. Said, because Biff being rich has anything to do with his musical talent. Anyway, Evan Seinfeld from Biohazard co-wrote this song. So immediately this person rolls in, says, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? You're accusing him being a Nepo baby? Get that out of here. Fuck that. Also, by the way,
Sam Walton. I'm the one saying
Sam
it.
Walton.
Does money matter?
Yeah, money doesn't matter. And then also saying, actually, he didn't even really write it. Somebody else wrote it. Complete undercut.
Real poor guy wrote this song.
Yeah. Evan
Real
Seinfeld.
target-looking fella.
So I did a little research. I could not find any evidence of Evan Seinfeld writing this song. The only evidence that I can find of Biohazard in these liner notes is a thank you where they thank him and say, your inspiration in a particular moment was very helpful. Like, I guess he gave them some kind words. So then I looked up.
Boom, 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 boom.
Well, I looked this guy up. I don't really know much about Evan Seinfeld. He is from Biohazard, in and out of Biohazard, but also he had a time period in his life in which he married a porn star and made a bunch of porn with her. and then decided he wasn't going to do that anymore. And I guess they got divorced, and then he came back out and went back to being in Biohazard. And I was like, what a life. What a life. Just jumping between the two. Yeah. So interesting guy. Seriously more interesting than this album, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay.
He's like backwards. I know it's an awkward word. Keep it. I'm telling you, keep it. Name the song it. It will stand the test of time.
It's worth it. All right. Okay.
My
and
marriage,
then also,
this is gonna last forever.
This is gonna last. Me and this porn star. It's happening, baby. So all right. Well, that's the first song. That's our kickoff. I really thought there'd be a music video for this song. There isn't one. There's no evidence.
No.
So yeah, maybe it's in a vault somewhere. I don't know. So all right, well, let's keep it going. Track 2, Doing It Anyway.
Is what?
Matt.
What?
Matt, you know that feeling you have when you're, 8, 9 years old and, somebody says, hey, it's time to do your chores. Go empty the dishwasher. And it's like, these dishes are just going to get dirty again. We're just going to put food on them. They're dirty again. What's the point of doing it anyway, Dad? Geezer. I'm going to my room. Don't come in here and critique my lyrics. Matt, you have true consternation on your face.
So upset.
Okay.
No, we looked the history of pop music and choruses in the face, and we said, not today.
Mhm.
Not because what's the point of doing it anyway? I'm livid. I like that's where you end your chorus. We don't hold a note. We don't know. Just it's a quarter note, and we're out. I'm the man machine, and I was what? No, like that sounds bad, guys. I love you. I love that you made a record. I love that you sold a record. I love that you were able to get promotion for this record. It is easily one of the hardest fucking things to do in the world to get anybody to care about what you do. I know we kicked the dad out of the room because we didn't want his help, but maybe, just maybe, we could have had him take a look and been like, oh, mate, yeah, no, don't do that. His vocals totally work for me in the verse. Totally. Like that is
The
textbook. Yeah, that is textbook goth industrial right there. That is very dialed in for the time. It is not a differentiator, but it is like super in the pocket. The first chorus, pitchy to me, it's like, okay, I don't know what we're doing here. Just turn up, like just do what Ogre does in Skinny Puppy. Just turn it to 10. Like, let's just make your voice disappear. But then I get it they have a pre-chorus, and then I get it even cleaner in this chorus, sinking deep, much too deep, digging deeper. I don't need, but I care about it. What's the point anyway? And then you just end on like halfway through the phrase. I am pulling for you. I want the best for you. This is not a song, in my opinion.
Right. Okay, so Matt and Oz, you're in Tyra Banks. We were all rooting for you mode. Ben, how you feel about this one?
Look, I think that we need to talk about what this band's goals, aspirations are. This song was written while they were on tour before the album was even recorded. And it's like, yeah, we're on tour with my dad, and like there's nothing to do, so we're just like groupies. And we're like, this isn't really fun for me. We wrote a song about it. But I think this whole band is just a bunch of slackers. And they're just like, to me, this is a perfect slacker anthem, right? Just 4 on the floor, drums, pretty basic riff, but meaty, and it's just like, yeah, we're just going to do it. And that'll be that. I think, I was going to get into this later in the episode, but since I'm pushing back already, I just want to say that this whole album is a wake up Seeple album. Tell you right now, it's a wake up Seeple, but it's not like, hey, be active and get out there and change it. Like, there's nothing you can do, so just fucking hang out. That's it. It's like, world fuck, just deal with it. That's what this whole album's about. I think this is a great song for what they are doing.
So the reframe on this to me now is that this is an abstinence anthem, because if you can't heal me, you can't know me.
Right.
What's the point anyway? I'm cutting my dick off, guys. I'm not having sex.
This guy,
What's the point anyway?
This guy's making a pact with himself to cut his own dick off. That's incredible. I wrote in my
Reframed.
notes, everything you know is wrong. You know what? Matrix 1999. That was the whole premise, right? You think you know the world? What if I showed you another way? Oh shit, I'm getting red pilled. Beeps and poops was my first note.
Oh, yeah, tons of beeps and poops. All the beeps
Tons of
and
beeps and
fun.
poops. I also wrote that it was very orgy, and that it was funny that once again I'm just hearing in other bands, and it's also funny to think about a band like Orgy, who I don't think anybody would ever accuse as being original band in a lot of ways. But I was like, am I to a point now where like someone's like, we have Orgy at home? Like, that's where we're at now, which is a weird feeling. We do get a bit of a Static X stomp, but I mean, we have Ulrich Wild behind the board, so he probably has a little button. And so I mean that was fine. I mean, I found
the Static X preset on his board.
Static X preset.
All the faders just move.
I found the verse vocal
big, repetitive, done.
I found the verse vocals to be very hesitant and buried in the mix. So it was one of those things where I was like, I can't hear you. But then it's one of those things like, do I want to hear them? But I can't hear them. And I wrote that it's a real carnival of noise. But credit where it's due. What's the point in doing it anyway? Sounds like a very nu metal sentiment.
Okay, I would agree.
So in that way, I appreciate it. Only one comment on songmeanings.com from commenter Xanderfell. And what is remarkable about this comment, is that it is from January 27th, 2022. So if
Hi,
you're
fellow
wondering,
Roach Rider.
hello everybody. Yeah, so definitely this band has not faded away. Here we're talking about them. Here we are in 2023. Xanderfell said, reading the lyrics as they are sung, it feels like the song is about sex and STDs. The "can you heal me" bit makes me wonder what they need to be healed of. And in it,
Xander.
Oh, is that what that is? Okay. And it could also be the after effects of sex, where we question why we do it, beyond the simple procreate thing built into all of us. What's the point in doing it anyway, is what I get nowadays. Sometimes even pleasure loses its meaning, and we will eventually look for a deeper meaning as to why we do it. Just my interpretation of it. Still awesome song.
Still
So
awesome song.
So still awesome song.
Still awesome song.
Awesome song.
Oh, that's still awesome.
You know what? I am Matt, who's the gentleman that was in the comments to tell us about how sex is worth it? Who is that guy?
Oh, I don't know.
I want to put this person with Xanderfell. You know, they're just like, listen, if you're thinking about it,
it's worth it.
It's worth it.
That's a good point. Also, should this be in someone's sex playlist?
I don't like.
I don't know if you want to. I don't.
You got your jackhammering drums.
Yeah, but you have an overall sentiment. You don't want to create in your sex playlist a question of whether or not the sex should be happening. You know what I mean? Because sex playlists are really built around the idea of like, you guys are doing it, or you should be doing it, or I'm setting a mood for doing it. And this song is like this song basically, if you were in the mood and then this song comes on and it's like, what are you doing? Turning lights on,
What if
pulling
it's
the
that
sheets
sex
back.
How about this? What if it's that breakup sex? The last time you're gonna have sex, and you know it, is throw this bad boy on, And he's like, I'm going to say anymore.
Good point. It's a good point.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Something to think about. A new playlist, the breakup sex playlist. Which what a relationship you've got where it's like, we're about to have breakup sex. Hold on. Pull up my Spotify. I got a playlist just for this.
I know I have all my stuff in a box and I'm ready to leave. But before, what's the part?
Anyway, hold on. It's playing out of my phone. It's not bonded with your speaker. Did you get out your Bluetooth? Oh, no wonder we're over. Okay, we're done with 2 tracks. Let's go to the third one.
All right. Up next, we have Sliced Beats.
I love watching Matt. How long will it play for with the beeps and boop?
Even 2 hours of beeps and boops.
2 hours plus, baby. I wrote in my notes that we have more drum machine, we have more rocking, but also there's I'll just read the lyrics. I'm changing and I'm not coming back. Distance yourself from me. Once you stop infinity, you had your chance and it passed. But then we get to the chorus. This is where it began, so this is where I am. So much has changed and nothing's changed at all. Which is it? Gazer, get him on the line. My God. I mean, here's the thing. It was at a certain point where I was like, this is the feature and the bug at the same time. I have to just reckon with these lyrics.
Yes.
Also was a situation where I thought about a lot of the bands that we've done on the show, and we talk about lyrics, and I think about famous lyrical punching bag Fred Durst, who we all love. And how people will just be like, oh, his raps are so dumb or whatever. And then I was like, man, I gotta tell you, when you really dig into this genre, Fred Durst is fucking William Shakespeare. Like, it's just, you get into some of this other stuff and I'm just like, these guys fucking wish they were Fred Durst. Are you kidding me? So I was really kind of just thrown with this. I wrote in my notes that this song is a snake eating its own tail, feeling big word salad vibes on this one. So I will say that I enjoyed the rocking. I enjoyed the filters on his voice. I tried to think about what position he was in when he recorded his verse vocals. Thinking back to when we watched that documentary about the making of one of the Coal Chamber records, and Dez had his like booth, and he was like an inch away from the producer's face, and I was just imagining him just like in the corner, like crouching down, and Ulrich being like, "Why you crouched down?" He's like, "I'm trying to hide. I'm trying to be small because I'm small and tiny on these verses, but I'll be big on the chorus." And that's how I felt. These were recorded while crouched in the corner. I'm tiny. That was how I felt about this one. So overall, no. Ben?
My notes are very short for this track. It's pointless. This track is pointless.
Everything's changed, but nothing's changed at all.
Well,
Seems pointless to me.
Doing it anyway, Lorin.
Good point.
Eat your own tail. Eat your own tail, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, I've noticed this he does not completely hate his dad, because every track he throws in one cool bass line with pops. But if he has one cool bass thing, we'll give him that. Every track we get one cool bass thing. But yeah, this song, unremarkable. Yeah, it goes back on itself. It's a nothing song. I don't enjoy it at all.
Matt.
I like this one the most of the 3 that we've heard. You knew I would. Yeah, this is, I would say, it had more of what I was looking for, but it has nothing that stands out to make me go, no! And that is a victory for Apartment 26 at this point. So he's not pushing his vocals, so it just kind of is in the track. And unlike the other 2 where the lyrics stood out so much that it made me go, wait a minute, this one washed over me like a cool breeze. So I was fine. I was fine with this one.
There we go.
But again, as a band, boy, what high praise to hear somebody go, Yeah, I was fine with it. Exactly. That's exactly what we're going for, sir. Fine with it.
That's what everybody wants to hear.
Song
Song
means
means
like,
oh, yeah.
it was $8.
Songmeanings.com. One comment. It's from returning commenter Stitchface, who said, "Good song, but again, Biff can't write lyrics that well. This is probably his best work so far, though." Stitchface.
Dad. My dad.
Geezer Butler's
Right.
fault. Stitchface. Okay, I love it. I love it.
Should we?
I think we should. I think we should, Matt. Up next, we have a song called "Keep You." Funky Ken, if there ain't a song for you on this album, it's this one, man. This is your song, man.
Oh, get the gold back in my bed.
Ben, we'll start with you. How'd you feel about "Keep You"?
Oh my God. This song is so it's infuriating. I watched Matt's face when the lyrics kicked in. I was like, exactly. But there's the previous song, he did a little back and forth, like two guys are talking to each other. It was like, all right, well, it's not great, but like whenever this is the back and forth is in, you're like, hey, the vocals aren't very good. Well, he's like, well, I got a second vocal over here that's somehow worse.
A real. Oh yeah. We'll check this out.
Top that. I can't. It's so bad. And the chorus doesn't mean anything. And the music's everything about the song is truly unremarkable.
I found it funky, babe.
Well, you gotta throw the
Funky
bass line in
Ken.
for that.
Funky
Appreciate
Ken.
it. Yeah,
Funky
man.
Ken, are you a fan of Black Sabbath?
Oh, I'd love the low-end thunder broom of one geezer Butler and his songwriting prowess in the lyrical variety.
Oh,
Also, would you please get a phone from T-Mobile? I am hungry.
I definitely want to help you out. I do have a phone, but Ben, I believe you are in the market for a new cell phone. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
I can show you amazing deals. Please, dear God, just sign a contract with me. We will make it worth your while. I am an amazing salesperson. Check this out. Free. I did it again.
Oh no.
That Funky Ken's what we're talking about. You can't keep giving them free phones because then you won't get any money.
It's a real problem.
It sure is.
But 10% of nothing is nothing.
That's right. My commission checks do not pay the bills. I
right,
think we all have the raspberry emoji, the thumbs down emoji to this one.
Yeah, I basically, I called out the call and response, weird back and forth vocals as well, which, yeah, we're really like, you don't like this, you will also not like this, and
You don't like that? Try this on for size.
yeah, so I don't even know if I had anything as far as like, oh, I have the common nu metal themes of someone being fake, him being fake, being sucked down. Now I'm lost, and I said, you and me both, buddy. Yeah, it's and then just incredibly busy production, which I really like. Knowing it's Ulrich Wild, knowing his track record. I mean, I think this guy was, I think he was lipstick picking it. That's what I'm saying. I mean, he's just doing what he can. He's like, what can I,
Twiddle.
what
here
can I
and
do? Not,
match
yeah,
table here.
yeah, just like, just fuzz up here. Let's put this one, I bet you this was probably a day where Ulrich's like, what do all these buttons really do? What do
Let's
they
find
really
out.
do? Let's find out. I'm just going to start pressing everything, man. I just got to figure this out. So, not great. But let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving.
Up next is a song called Apartment 26. Like at this point, I just feel like we know what's going to happen. Do we have to listen to the rest? Like,
did you know that was going to? Did you know that he was going to sort of rap? Did you know?
I'm fine with sort of rapping, but it was just like, This came out in 2000. Like, there is a lot of hip hop we could have alluded to. You could have just ripped another verse from somebody else, do a cover of Bring the Pain, like do anything.
Well, Matt, if you can play it a little bit more, because there's a sample. I believe in the first verse that I do want everybody to hear. That's the one. That nice sample made me laugh every single time, because after you've gone through all of that, the idea of them being like, yeah, it's pretty nice. Like, it's like an incredible pat in the back. It reminds me of, there was a bit on an episode of the Chappelle Show where it was like I want to say it was it was an episode in which it was like Dave Chappelle had like what happens when white people hear guitar versus when black people hear guitar, something like that. And they had like John Mayer walking around.
Yep.
And then at a certain point, Questlove on drums. And when they did the drums part, I remember a guy starts freestyling. And in the episode, you just it's like a bit, it plays into it, like, you know, like, hey, the drums start happening, and then they all start freestyling. And that's the joke. So then I think they did like a behind the scenes or something like bonus footage thing with Dave Chappelle just sort of talking to the audience. And he said, did you guys catch that guy's freestyle that isn't good? And at the end, he wooed himself. Like, he finished spitting his bad bars, and then he's like, woo! And then like forced somebody to dap him up. That's how I felt about that nice drop, was just like, he spits all this, it's not good. And at the end, he's like, hey, Ulrich, you got that nice sample? And he was like, you want it here? And he's like, I sure do. And so all that just get nice. It's like, it ain't. But honestly, it made me laugh a lot. So maybe it does work.
Oops,
yeah.
Kyle, surprise.
Oops. That's it. Oops, that's surprise. That's right. I thought these were the worst lyrics on the album at that point when I was doing my notes. Please.
I'm just going to let you know that I'm furious that you made me wait to hear that nice sample.
Well, Matt,
I'm so happy you did.
there it is. I'm making our guest happy, all right? It's called customer service.
Again, Michael, let's just watch Matt's reaction to this album. That's all I want for this.
I'm giving you the whole deal today.
There's actually a few things I want out of this particular album. One of the big driving forces.
Yeah. All right. Perfect. Okay. Up next, we have an instrumental song called Dusk, which then goes into Hallucinating, the title track.
Okay. Once again, the beats and boobs, right on it. Like right in the pocket. That is classic. That is like textbook. There's 1.5 trillion goth industrial bands that are on Metropolis Records that sound exactly like that. Like, not even trying to be different, just like 1,000,000% that. The differentiator is, once we get to that chorus and he starts to be more man than machine, I am tapping out. That's an instant Mate. Like, this is your type. Man, I feel like after, I know 300 plus episodes that we've done a lot of albums, and I haven't been kind to a lot of albums, and I've been kind to other albums, but like, this just feels like I'm kicking somebody when they're down. Like, it's a no for me, dog.
Listen, at the end of the day, he's Geezer Butler's kid, and we're not, you know? So
That's true.
I mean,
that's true.
You know,
He's doing okay.
He's doing all right.
I hope he's doing all right. I really do.
I have an update on that.
Oh, what's the update?
So, I've read some interviews from who says, yeah, that was a thing that I thought I had to do when I was younger. He was like 19 or 20 when this album came out. I felt like music was what I was supposed to do, and it wasn't. I put 2 albums out. I'm not particularly proud of them. I don't bring them up in conversation. But he's currently like an award-winning video editor. And the guy who does the sounds, they still work together a lot on projects. The guy that does all the beeps and bloops, they still work together. And he's like, I'm doing video. I need music. Can you compose some for me? But yeah, he's like worked on like Kobe commercials. Like, if you go to his website, there's like tons of commercials you've seen that he's done work on.
Thank God.
Thank God. Listen, you know what? I like the level of self-awareness there that he's like, yeah, I did some records. No bueno. That didn't work out. I'm sorry about that. The fact that he does not bring them up in conversation, that really says it, because I won't put anybody on blast, but we've done some bad albums on the show and said some things about them. And some people have DM'd us, not happy about what we said about it. And I was like, bro, we're the only people talking about this album in 2021, 2022. So, relax. So, okay. Well, then I feel great.
Well, then it is like, okay, then we can have some fun. I don't want to be, at this point, we're well established in what we do, but if it was your first time hearing us, you'd be like, these guys are assholes. So to hear him kind of be like, yeah, it's this isn't it, dog. Like, I get it too.
Mhm.
All right, I'm gonna relax a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I like that he's still working with the Beeps and Boops guy. Because I wrote in my notes that this thing's got so many fucking beeps and boops and random effects,
To
so
my notes, Matt, can we go to 3 minutes for the best/dumbest effect on the album? Can we go to 3?
Of course we can. All right, getting that lined up.
Maybe get
We're at 2:58, so
Perfect.
we got to give that doink sound took us so long to get right. It's got a feature.
honestly, my thought was like they heard Adidas by Korn and they heard that fake mandolin sound that was actually just a guitar played in the bathroom, and they were like, why not us? And somebody was be like, because Korn already did it, and they were like, why not us? And
Did I stutter?
did I stutter? No. Yeah, this also has honestly the funniest lyric on here. Who are you? Who are you? I don't know you. I don't know why. That just made me
We're
laugh.
setting the scene.
We are. Hey, hold on. What is this? It's it reminds me of jobs I've had where I've had to cold call people, and they immediately are acting like I'm like in their house. Like that's always the wild thing to me. But also like when I've been in like doing like jobs where like I was given their information because they signed up through a website, so I'm calling them back on information they gave me, and they're like, "How'd you get this number?" And I was like, "You fucking gave it to me. Like, what are you doing?" So I like that. Who are you? Who's this? Who's this? Wow. What's happening?
Where am I? Where am I?
You know what though? Who hasn't had that nap where you wake up just wrong and you're literally like, who am I?
Is that I woke up this morning, my arm fully asleep. Like the most asleep my arm has been in years. And so asleep, I had to pick it up. And when it fell on me, I didn't feel it fall on me. It was just like something else hitting my body. I felt as if I didn't know who it was. I felt like I was a robot inside of the ship, and the ship wasn't responding. And then the pins. Oh, God, the pins.
And then you were like, oh, God, I like to web the other way.
Why so many pins?
Perfect. All right, let's keep it going. Up
Let us keep
next,
it
we
rolling,
got
baby.
The Fear. I got to tell you, when that guitar part kicked in, I was like, man, these guys would love to be on the Blade 2 soundtrack with shit like this. That's what they're looking for right there. That doo-doo. It's like, oh, yeah. All they need is a daywalker walking in going, any vampires in here? Because I'm going to kill them. But Matt, you made a comment while that song was playing that this might be a song about fingering.
Yes.
And so I thought I might read you some lyrics.
Cool.
She lays naked, stretched out. First of all, credible description. I'm there.
I'm in the room.
Oh,
I'm there.
The synesthesia is overwhelming.
Picture painted. Next line. Like I could only help her when she's moist. All right. That right there is proof positive more than anything. The geezer Butler did not put eyes on these lyric pages, because he would have walked in there and said, my son, my guy, my
Hey, my
baby
guy.
boy. Hey, my guy. You using the word moist? I don't know if you're familiar. No one likes that word. No one likes the word moist.
That word is loathed.
It's out. I want to say to him, you know what though? This makes sense though, because what he said, I was 19, 20, felt like something I had to do, which means this guy has not been in any new employee orientations where you have to go around the room and say your favorite holiday, your favorite season, and what word do you love and what word do you hate on a getting to know you document. Because everybody puts moist, and he would have known. But this is why sometimes, you learn things through life, through experience, and maybe this is proof positive a bit of the Nepo baby accusation that Stitchface was making earlier,
Mm.
putting it out there, maybe, if
So
you
his
know
dad was
more,
calling him a Nepo baby.
he probably was walking around the house going moist, 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 and he's like, no one likes that word.
You don't owe me, Dad.
You don't know me. So yeah, but yeah, I didn't really like this one, but I did like the chunky guitar. And yeah, this just big vampire modes. Also, you really do realize at this point that he cannot scream, that he can only yell.
Yeah.
And you really start to appreciate people who can scream really good, like, once again, Fred Durst. Good screamer.
Great.
Great screamer. And this guy's like, I'm yelling, but it really
Yeah.
just feels like I'd say
Loud.
I'm a lot. Yeah, exactly. Ben, thoughts?
Yeah. So I was like, will they bring it back? This sounds very Angelo Badalamenti to me, because the guy that does David Lynch's music.
David
And
Lynch's stuff.
Set that tone in Lost Highway. Let's do that. Let's just do that.
Oh man.
And that's
Mm.
really all that they did. Like, great. And then add a riff. And Matt, you didn't miss anything in the chorus. I know you're shocked to hear it.
Oh, really?
Not worth checking out. And I think it takes like 1:45 to get there or something. Yeah. And remember, this is a song where like, yeah, we're going to finger this chick, and it's called The Fear. What's going on?
Look, if you're now, I think we've said enough about the song, but I'm going to say that if you're looking for something that's a lot more dialed in to this vibe, that you want something
The
to,
fingering vibe?
well, if you want something that's like dark, brooding, but could be on a sex playlist, right?
Okay.
Because everybody right now, everybody's going the Nick Cave route. They've got the right hand song. I forget in this
Right.
moment. Yes. So that song is really having a moment in overuse in popular culture. If we're gonna get a song overused in popular culture for sexy and smoldery, may I suggest Gavin Friday and the song Shag Tobacco. Gavin Friday, you may know because he had a song on the Romeo and Juliet soundtrack called
yes.
Angel, which is very used in that movie. But Shag Tobacco is one of those songs that in the right place, at the right time, there's a lot of trouble. Sex.
This song is not on that.
This is
No,
this
it's
song.
not. No, it's not. No. Listen, you
They wanted
can't
it
go.
to be.
You can't go. Here's the thing. You can't. If you're looking at a sex playlist and you're looking at it, it's like, what's going on? Or now what's going on? Wrong one. Let's get it on.
Mother. You feeling sexy yet?
Feeling sexy? But if you're looking at it and then you see a song called The Fear, you don't want to necessarily have any fear. You should have excitement, but fear is maybe a step too far. I mean, unless you're into that, I don't want to yuck anybody's yum.
But also,
You know what? I might yuck this yum just a little. All right.
I might not want to yuck your yum, but I will say we have different tastes.
In which your yum makes me go yuck. So, up next, We have a song called Basic Breakdown. This is the ultimate dad song on the album because it has a chorus that my dad would love to joke about. He's like, get up, fuck up. My dad would be like, great song, but you getting out of bed.
Lazy bones.
Lazy bones. That's an Air and Air song is. Because it did not give me get up in the pit all. It was entirely like, get up,
You're
get
asleep.
up out of bed. You're
You
asleep.
sheeple.
It is
Like that.
12:30. Don't you have somewhere to be? I cannot believe you're still in bed.
You're asleep
Get
the day
up.
away. You're
Yeah.
asleep the day away.
Oh. Get up. Get up. Ben, we'll start with you. How'd you feel about Basic Breakdown?
Yeah, they said it was titled Basic.
They really did set themselves up.
They did. They did. And we go back to it again. Lyric writing is tossed aside here. Anytime that you've read the lyric, it feels bad, maybe go back to the drawing board on that one. That doesn't mean anything. When you're saying something feels bad, like, how does it bad? But more, please.
Be
Is there a better
specific.
And yeah,
It feels bad. Hey, listen, this is the same gentleman who just a song ago told us that this lady was naked and stretched out.
woo! In more ways than one. If you
know what I mean?
Now. Hey now. Yeah, It Feels Bad was you know what? We haven't said it, but this is, I gotta tell you, Biff, he's a first thought, best thought guy. All right. I bet you Ulrich probably loved working with this guy. He's like, you want to take another pass? He's like, these are them. This
Got
is
it.
this
bad, it feels wrong.
I
feels
feel
bad, feels wrong. Do you want to elaborate on that? Feels wrong, feels bad. What do you want from me, Ulrich? You're not my dad.
Pain hurts.
Yeah.
Bad
Praise,
things.
worship. I wrote that in the chorus.
I
did
did write
write
praise
that.
and worship.
You know, did you see how we went up with the steam sound and then we went down with the steam sound? You know, see that years later and write massive hook. Linkin Park, you heard of them? We hadn't yet. And they took that thing from us. That's right. We did one original thing. And it's what made Linkin Park famous.
That's what made Linkin Park.
That's what it was. I'm sure.
Not having one of the best rock vocalists of the last 25 years.
You put Chester in apartment 26 and
Well, okay. Well, yes. If you put apartment 26, he would figure it out. Yes, he would.
Yeah,
because he'd also write the lyrics and they would be better.
yeah, they would. They would.
Because he would be like, this is what my pain feels like.
Mm-hmm. I did
Amazing.
write in my notes. I did write my notes asking what the budget for the buzzing sound on this album was because it feels like it's through the roof.
Oh, that's free because that studio is falling apart. Oh, every song has a 60 cycle hum on it because we can't figure out where the buzzing's coming from.
At a certain point, we were like, we got to go home, and I don't know where that buzz is coming from.
And we're all putting food on our family, so it's fine.
Gotta put food. Yeah, it's fine. Matt, how'd you feel about Basic Breakdown?
You know, not to continue to pile on, but like even the song title, Basic Breakdown. Grab a thesaurus.
Yeah, just read every word.
No notes. He's taking no notes. He's using the word moist. He is putting the word basic in the song title. You cannot tell this boy no. Can't be done. Think about how you were 19 years
thank
old.
God I didn't put out an album because it would
Imagine.
be exactly like this. I didn't. I definitely did not have the chops, or it would all be like, oh, this is what I think deep stuff is when I haven't experienced anything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I wrote a short story once for class. I just had to write one, and I gave it to the teacher. and this is so embarrassing, but I'm going to tell it because we've been going in on this guy, so I'll be a little revealing about myself. So I gave it to the English teacher. His name is Lance Rivers. He's now passed away. Excellent teacher, great teacher. And he read it, and I said, "What did you think?" And he said, "Not bad, not great. You've definitely never had sex." I was
Lance
like,
Rivers, you were a real one. Rest in
he
power,
was
King.
the realist, man. He was like, he was not afraid. Listen, Lance Rivers hit us with a lot of got-ems. I mean, Lance Rivers used to hit him with the got-ems all the time, and I will never forget that got-em. That one, I was like, oh boy. I'm like, do I got to need to make a
Wow.
pact with Lance? Like, wow.
Good, not great. You've obviously never had sex.
Incredible. Incredible.
World class.
That's why when people are like, I don't know if I believe.
This is a sci-fi non-romantic story, and he's like, "Look, it's not like how you wrote the romance. It's just topic."
Yeah, and yeah, it was, people say like, especially nowadays, they're not sure, like, do you need the 4-year education? I'm like, you need to get a couple got-ems, okay? To really help you grow. And sometimes you'll get it from a top-notch English department. So yes, Lance Rivers, a legend. I don't think we have anything else to say about Basic Breakdown.
Nope.
I'm just gonna read it. I'm gonna read it. Well, I'll read it one more time. I just want to read it. So get up and get up. Fuck it up. Yeah, get up now. Those are the actual lyrics. I just want to say that the now at the end is the dad moment. That's
It's
Geezer peeking through.
Well, it's also like, I feel like this might not have been as effective as I thought it was going to be. Let's add a now in there. Just for like, oh, it's the prompt.
Right.
Like when you're give it up one more time, give it up one more time, give it up. You guys get
Get up now.
Yeah.
Get up now.
Give it up
Yeah.
now. Start giving them.
I mean, we're all dads. We kind of know you sometimes have to bring that
For that.
extra oomph to it to get movement
That is true.
happening.
Yeah, where you
Mhm.
have to be like, now,
Yeah.
what
This
are we
isn't-
doing?
Not an
Why?
option. Not an option.
Now.
Right now. Please, now, But you don't want to get to that please moment because then they see that vulnerability and then they just cut you in half. Yeah, catch you that weakness. Yeah. All right. Stick around for more parenting tips. Next up, a song, these song titles.
This one is called Anymore. I'm looking for this girl. Have you seen her?
Hey man, I don't talk to no fuzz, okay? I don't talk to nobody.
She's missing.
Okay, she was here last week. All right.
When she went Denny Labasco.
She was with Tabasco and his whole gang. This better come back on me. I want to say that this song perked me up every time I listened. I was like, oh, we got a chunky riff. We're moving. I feel like maybe we're cooking a little bit. The chorus, once again, it's a backwards problem. The word anymore, it doesn't work. It's too clunky. It brings the chorus to a screeching halt when we have been so propulsive. We have been moving. And then he's like, anymore. And the whole band's like, I just feel like everybody's like, hold on. Is everybody belted in? Because we're about to go off the rails.
Yeah.
And,
Come on the stairwell.
yeah, really. I thought the bridge at 144 is actually the best part of the song. This song is still piling on the noises, the beeps, and the filters, which is just, that's Apartment 26, baby. That's what they do. All right. There's no beep without a boop. There's no filter without another filter on top. This is how they do. This is how they live. They walk in the morning and they say, well, like we were saying, Ulrich Wild, he's finding out what every button does. There must have been a day where they walked in and Biff was like, hey, Ulrich, hear me out. And Ulrich's like, here we go.
This is going to be the big ask.
What if you press every button?
No, I've kind of always wanted to do that.
Cool. Let's do it. And the result is that it just sounds like you just got a bunch of shit on top of shit, Like
Real hat on a hat situation.
Matt, we got hats on top of pants, on top of hats, on top of gloves. I mean, it's all layers. Everyone, listen, you're going to be very warm, but you won't be able to move. You're going to look like the kid in the Christmas Story. That's what it's going to be. That's my thoughts on Anymore. Ben?
Yeah, this one, I feel like you said, definitely like the biggest rocker on the album. It's like, get those fists in the air right away. Like, I wish he had the get up lyric in this one. At least there'd be like something getting you up. But yeah, I feel like this is like one of those live show staples. Get them all in there.
If you saw Apartment 26 live and they didn't do Anymore, I'd be pissed.
You'd be pissed.
You'd be pissed. You're like, how did they not do it?
I feel like we skipped over this on another song. Opening riff. It's in the Stabbing Westward song.
Oh,
And
yeah.
There's the part that you were going to have him cut to. I feel like it's the part where I'm like, man, if Christopher Hall was singing this would be. Get a Christopher Hall wail in this thing for Anymore? Have him wail Anymore? Oh my God.
I was gonna say that's my note is like, if we're gonna use a compound, a multi-syllable word as your title and as your thing, then it's a whole line. It's not like Anymore. Like, no.
They do drag out Anymore later in the song.
But it does need to be like a whole stanza. All 4 notes of the 4 on the floor is Anymore. And then
What about Anymore? That's what they end doing.
That's the Chris Hall. Yeah, that's how Chris Hall would have done it 100%. That's how.
He would have done the Anymore.
That's
definitely
would
he have done Anymore.
I think he would have stretched the 3. That's what I think he would have done.
Anyway.
You know what? Yeah. Anyway, you know who I got on the horn? Chris. No, I don't.
Oh, my phone, bro.
Yeah, I've had Chris Hall on the line for an hour 50 waiting for Scott in on this one.
He is pissed.
He's furious, but he's one of the best. Okay. Matt, any other thoughts on Anymore?
I don't have any more thoughts, and we're ready for the next song. Oh,
Matt, do you know how we used all the buttons? Like Ulrich, they came in one day like, Ulrich, I know. And we press all the buttons yesterday. And no, we can't afford new cables. But Ulrich, for your work, bought you a new button. Let's hear it.
Oh, shit. Okay. Here's Bruised.
You bought me a meadly button? We wanted a meadly button. Ulrich, you've been doing so much for us. We saw this in the store, and I was like, Wheedly, we got to do it. And this motherfucker over here, he's dinking, dual income, no kids, so he can afford it. So just put it on his card. And here we are. We hope you really love it, and we really love you, Ulrich. Thank you so much.
I do love it.
This for 4 minutes.
Well, the trade-off was Ulrich was like, I'm going to put this Wheedly button here in the mix, and I'm going to take your vocals, and I'm going to bury them like fucking casino, baby. No one's finding them shits. The verses in this song, I mean, my man's been doing some lyrics, and so I thought I would just read this verse, which goes like this. Hands appear at night. I feel as though I've been awake for days. I shed my skin and I shed my sleep chains. I look the other way as you come my way. You look slimmer and your breasts look better than ever. What the fuck? No one ever hears. All they can do is breathe. Stop the touch. This verse is wild.
I don't understand.
I don't understand any of it at all. He's in there like sleep chains. I was like, oh, this is him. This is him taking a note. He's like, okay, I can't just say I was asleep. Well, sleep chains. And everyone's
everybody's familiar with the classic turn of phrase. The chains of sleep.
Chains of sleep. The old chains of sleep. But I have been baffled by "You look slimmer and your breasts look better than ever." What the fuck? I don't even know what to make of that. And even the way it's
That's
delivered in the song is insane.
and just to be clear, Matt, the lyric is what the fuck. He's not responding to the lyrics. The lyric after your breasts look better than ever is what the fuck.
Mm. I mean, maybe
I don't know. I didn't know it was possible.
right. I mean, maybe he didn't think that her breasts could look better than ever, and he was like, "Whoa, what a surprise!" I wouldn't put it in a song. That's
I
just
wouldn't
me.
put
No.
what the fuck as go, wow, that's nice. Well, yeah, thanks.
Yeah, I know. Weird reaction to it. What the fuck? I thought it'd be worse. I thought they'd be sagging.
Hey, what the fuck?
Whoa.
This house is cleaner than it's ever been.
How? How? What the fuck? Yeah. The reaction's
What
all
the
off.
fuck, a rave?
You really did it this time. Surprise party. What the fuck? All my friends and loved ones. What the fuck?
I'm just so mad right now, but also thank you.
Thank you. I mean, honestly, if that's your reaction to being slimmer and your breasts look amazing, then I don't know what to tell you. So
I always thought losing weight affected your titty meat. Anyway. Gotta go, write more great lyrics.
gotta go. I don't think we have anything else to say about this song.
Nope.
I was wiggling. I'll give you that much. We had the wiggling button, so goodbye on that
You had
one.
that big, take that baseline for a walk.
Like
Mm,
that.
mhm. Up next, we have another interlude called "Evils" into "Question of Reality."
Then I have a question. If it's going to be the last two songs here, how respectful of our time is this album?
Matt, it's a really great question, and for
My
some reason,
my survey says 45 minutes, rounding up.
so interesting thing with this record is that the version on streaming is like 45 minutes. The version on CD has a secret track that is not on streaming. Streaming apparently, a rare moment, was like, get this shit out of here. Nah. It goes up to you get 15 tracks 15 to 24 are like weird like momentum like noises. And then when you get to track 26, you get a bunch of beepy boopy noises for a while. And it's like 2 minutes. And it's not good. It's not, it's not the worst
Not
thing I've ever heard, but
essential.
it
Not
is
essential to our review.
screamingly inessential.
Okay.
I will say. Yes.
Well, then here is Evils into Question of Reality.
Hey, Dad, can I
Stop.
get surfacing? Can I get surfacing?
No, we have surfacing at home.
Oh, do we? Oh, cool.
Oh, do we? No, we don't.
No, you
No.
don't have surfacing at home. You do not.
We have
have
a question
surfacing.
of reality. Guys, again, we've mentioned it, but these lyrics are in desperate need of attention. What is happening here? I called today to say my goodbyes, mistook your mood. I begin to beg you. Promises kept like yesterday's news. Thanks for the memories and thanks for the time. But this chorus of slowly draining away, it's such a shame. You've missed the point again. I can't let reality seep in. I thank you.
What's the question?
You're right. Sorry, no notes. No notes.
I like a real good metal chorus that ends with "I think." That's how you end. Listen, that's how you end a commencement. That's how you end a commencement speech. After you've been asked to speak, the class of 2004, like, I thank you for your time. and I wish you well into the job market, but that's not how
May we
you.
all look on these coming days and remember our past with a feeling of great thanks and learning observations that prepare us. I think. I thank you. I thank you for your time.
Mhm. Yeah,
Fondest memories together.
yeah,
When I
yeah.
remember these past 4 years that we've spent together, I recall so many conversations in the hall with my friends, the good times that we had, the hard times.
Can I just say that my favorite part of when I was in high school and college and they give the commencement speech was when people would say like the good times and the bad times, and I was always like, what are the bad times you're talking about? Because like, what are we talking? Like, what are you talking about? Like, what? I want details. I want details on that.
The times when we didn't win the football game, but we did go to the bonfire anyway. And all the football players were in a bad mood because they had lost the football game. So when they got drunk, they started fighting each other, and I didn't know how to emotionally handle it. So I left the conversation. But I had had too many mushrooms, and I saw a dead wreck.
I
So
wish
these are the moments that we will cherish.
this is what speeches need. This is what the speeches need. I would be so. We'll go back. We're talking a lot about college today, and this reminds me of something that happened. My senior year graduation from college. The night before graduation, went out with a bunch of my buddies, buddy Sean, buddy Ryan. We got tore up from the floor up, you guys. All right,
That's
we
how
did
you
it up.
do.
We did it up. And though at that point it was like I had to be moved out of the dorm, and so all of my stuff was shoved in my parents' car, and then there was no room anymore, so I had to stay at the hotel room with my parents and my sister. So I literally like crawled into their like room at like 3:30 in the morning, like rough. So the next day, graduation, I'm up, I'm dressed, whatever. I'm there. My dad is videoing it with a camcorder. It's 2004. And I didn't know this until, I don't know, years later when he decided to pull the video out. But he was panning from the speaker to me to the speaker to me. And they had seated us, I think it was by major, but it was something weird. And so they seated me next to this woman who I'd never met before, but had seen around, who was very hot. And so my dad would pan up to the speaker, and then he'd pan over to me, and I'm like, just talking to this girl, like not paying attention, just like making. I could tell I am in total like, but also hungover AF. And I'm like, and I remember my dad watched this video going, look at you. You're not even paying attention. You're not even listening to what this guy's saying. I remember my dad was like, some good speeches. I was like, sure. I don't know. Like, I was just like, but it was just so funny. He'd be like, this person be talking like, when you go out into the world, you're going to face a lot of adversity. Pan over to Lorin Kozlowski, like just macking, like, just like, and I don't know why. I never said a woman again in my life.
Yeah, the high school graduation speech is you've never had sex. We look at ourselves and we think the future is so bright, and college is more like,
don't forget what you've learned here. See, in these 4 years that you've spent with us, you've been molded and prepared for what awaits. But don't lose that core that we all have as Bronze Gate bronzers. As a bronzer in the work,
pontificating fucking bullshit.
when you're sitting in the job that you've had for 22 years,
That doesn't
remember
match your major.
that it has nothing to do with anything that you study here in these halls. These are the moments that you need to recall that you are a bronzer, and bronzers excel in adverse situations. Your well-rounded education has prepared you.
The next song is called Death.
So I run my notes that we were gurgling out the door.
Death rattle.
With this one. But what was interesting is that as much as we said like this band is derivative, they're not taking notes, these choices that are being made. we're still making choices vocally to the very end.
Mhm.
And my note on this one was that he could have gone a lot of different ways. He could have stuck with his Burton imitation, which he still does on the chorus. He could have gone for like a Marilyn Manson creepy crawl situation. He could have gone in a lot of directions, especially, he's got Ulrich Wild, he could have gone a Wayne direction, a lot of ways he could go. But he decided, he's like, I'm going to deliver my verse vocals as if I'm a man trapped in a wall. And I initially was in the wall because I'm a creepy boy. The initial thought was like, I'm in this wall because I'm creepy and I'm in your walls. Okay. But now I've realized I'm in your wall and I cannot get out and I have to go to the bathroom.
Oh,
Own
this
it.
is a bad move. This is a
It's
bad move.
Like there's that a brief moment of like, oh, and she, oh no, there's a man in my wall. And then he's like, yeah, I'm in your wall. And shit, I'm in your wall. Can you get me out? And she's like, oh, nope, you're stuck, and then that's that. The menace goes away. But an interesting choice all the same, because I can say in the 300 plus episodes we've done, guy stuck in a wall voice, never heard that before.
No.
Nope. That's a first. Ben, how'd you feel about this one?
I feel like this should have ended with Question of Reality. I feel like that one had a lot more energy into it. And I feel like their thought here was like, let's get existential musically. But Nick, I don't know.
Let's go to the apartment 26
of your mind. And then, Matt, since you're more versed in this kind of stuff, I did put in my notes that I wanted to see what your thoughts were at 155 of what's going on. And obviously, we're going to talk about the music because why would we ever talk about the lyrics or the vocals?
Do not make me talk about the lyrics or vocals.
Just talking, you've got a lot of history with electronica, with how that chorus goes and it goes into that part. Would you be like, that's pretty standard?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's money in the bank. Like, they have a lot of stuff that's like tried and true. Like,
and then you throw these vocals and these lyrics into it. You're like, God damn it.
But feeling shit. Like, this is like on a Manson song, him coming in, like, he's done that a million times. Like, now it's Lunchbox by Manson. He's right there. Yeah. But like, no, it does not. Like, if you're going to go pop, you got to go full pop. If you're going to go menace, then you got to be menacing.
Right.
And my dude is not menacing. He's just not. And that is Lorin's "You've never had sex" comment. It's like, you've never scared anybody. I mean, you might be scary at times when it's like, whoa, this guy's out of control, but not like there's some people, they walk into the room and you're like, oh, fuck, I gotta go. That guy, that person's energy is a big, I'll tell a story. I was in a restaurant once and I was in a booth, and the booth behind me, and just this guy talking, I stood up and moved tables.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just, yeah. And the waitress didn't say a word. She was like, she got it. Like, we both got it. It was like, oh no, I can, no, I'm not going to sit next to this person this whole meal. Like, I don't want to die tonight.
Yeah. And see it stay there. So that's fun.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Wow. Well, there you go. Perfect way to close out this album, everybody. It's Hallucinating by Apartment 26. That's the album. And now it's the part of the show where we talk about
Canon Talk. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it, baby. You're our guest. We'll start with you.
Well, I think our opinions have been laid bare. I think we've used our words very well to describe what's going on here. For me, first of all, I'm very sorry. I was in my own world for a second. I forgot to talk about the canon. So apologies.
It's all good.
I meant to do it and I forgot, and that's my own fault. Play it back. But yeah, you're never going to believe this. I'm going to say that the album pays no new ground. But I will say that the one thing it does is that it's a slacker nu metal album as opposed to an angsty or angry nu metal album. There's like, yeah, what are you going to do? World sucks, which I don't think you see a lot in the nu metal spectrum. So in that case, if we're going to pitch it that way, this is a slacker Nu-Metal album, I would say doing it anyway. Fits that build to a T. And that's the only argument I can make. That's it. I'm like, if we all agree that no other Nu-Metal band has done this, but also nobody copied it, so it didn't like live in perfect.
It wasn't really
yeah, great idea. We're gonna do it.
the spark that lighted 1,000 fires.
Yeah. Yeah.
My view on this album going into the canon. This album is tough. It's extremely redundant and largely unnecessary. It's honestly proof that in the case of someone like Ulrich Wild, you can give him all the buttons, you can buy him new buttons, but he's not a miracle worker and he can only do so much. So I have nothing for the canon, but I had a great time talking about it with you guys.
Thank you,
Matt.
As we look back on this 14 songs, we know that we have been through some trials and tribulation, and things are tough, and then they're not tough, and then you're naked, spread out on a bed. So I will say at this point that although it may be better than the first Korn record,
wow.
no, definitely not. They didn't say that. I'm sorry. I will say that at this point in time, this is not ready for the canon, but is ready for the next experience in its life, which is as we separate from our friends and go into whatever our next chapter is. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
That's a no for me.
that's a no.
For another reason I picked this one, so you can knock it off the list and get to Music for the Massive, their follow-up album, which is much better.
Oh,
Just want to knock this one out. It's also
knock it out.
It's also the last band of an Ozfest 2000 that you hadn't covered yet, which was my first non-Christian concert. So pretty big.
Wow.
They
Wow.
opened it up and they weren't good. Live. I remember I made mixed CDs of all the bands. So I'd be like, I know which one I'm going to listen to. I'm going to know the songs so I can go. And there was not a single hard 20 song on any of those. There's like 5 discs. You had to drive from North Dakota to Wisconsin to see it. So it was a long drive.
wow.
A long drive. That's a long drive. Oh my gosh.
Long drive home too. Oh boy.
Wow. Well, there you have it. Apartment 26, Hallucinating, not in the canon. But we all learned a lot. And I want to thank everybody for listening. And Ben, I want to thank you for coming on the show. A true
Thank
pleasure,
you.
sir.
Thank you so much. This was a joy.
Thank you. You can find Ben every week. Barley and Me, weekly.
Intermittently.
Sorry.
It turns out when you have a kid, you work a day job, you do comedy. You know this.
Yeah.
It's some people take breaks. Some people maybe leave the podcast entirely. I'm not going to name names. And some people just go, you get an episode. You get an episode. I'm doing all this. I'm doing all the editing. I'm doing all the booking. I'm doing all that stuff. And I don't do it in my basement like some people. I go out in the world and I hang out with people for hours. So it's like, when do I have those hours? When do I have the editing time? So
I get it.
where do I have it? But I'm doing a bunch today. So soon.
All right. Perfect. Well, Ben, thank you. A true pleasure. This was super fun. Barley Me Podcast. You can find it wherever you get podcasts. And certainly keep on saying hello to us here at Roach Koach. We're on everything: Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Did I miss anything, Matt? We're on all those, right?
We are now on everything. I mean, at
We're
some
on
point we had a Tumblr, so like
We had a Tumblr at one point. I just stopped updating it because no one was on Tumblr anymore. But that's because they got rid of nudity on Tumblr, and that's why everyone was on Tumblr. Figure it out, Tumblr. What are you doing?
Know your audience.
Know your audience and bring back those boobs. Yes. So we're on all those. So say hello to us on all those. We're working on engagement. We're finding that helps too. And send us an email, roachkoachpodcast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. We love to hear your recommendations. Sometimes we'll get to them years later. It happens. We believe it. And until next time, Matt, thank you.
Lorin Thank you.
Ben.
Thank you.
All right.
Roach Koach
Podcast.
Hot all day, every day. It's the Roach Koach
Podcast.
all day,